Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here on the Hagenstedt map. Let's get back to reliving the glory days. I don't think we're going to get enough ploughing done here to get corn planted in this bit. I was just thinking it'd be kind of cool if we did get this done in time to plant corn out in this piece. That would actually be quite good. I'm also surprised at how well this tractor is handling the plough. I genuinely didn't think that this tractor would be able to cope with the plough at all. I really did think that this would be too big for it. But it's not. It is coping deliciously with this plough. It's very, very well. It's doing extremely well with it. Right, let's bring you over to that point right there. And then we can carry on again. I'm going to run you up and round like that. How is... we've seen the one at the top. We won't worry about him for a second. I'm just going to bring this up over here like this. And I'm going to put you right there so that I got something to look at. Okay, I've done my something to look at. There, so you may see either something to look at on the thumbnail for the episode, whether or not it's worked out that way or not, because sometimes I do that and then I don't use that thumbnail. I end up using something else completely. So we will just keep plodding on with this. He's only got one little strip left to do up here. He's on the final pass right now, so it's not like we're going to be doing... We're not going to be able to do corn in this one. There's not going to be enough time to get that planted. Well, we could if I was to, like, hang around and drag out the ploughing here, but I'm kind of going to view this as an in-between job, something that we can do while we're waiting for other things to happen. So we won't plan on planting corn in here this time. We will plan on this being ready for when we come to plant the next crop after we've planted the corn. That's what it's going to end up being. This is going to be the crop that we plant after we have planted the corn. Which is going to be wheat. We will cycle back through, because we're not going to do root crops this time. I'm not going to bother leasing to do the root crops. We will wait for root crops until we have a little bit more cash available for doing something on a slightly grander scale. Now, I have been pointed in the direction of some extra wide machines that were used in one of the live stream multiplayer episodes that I did for doing root crops later on. I'll be honest, I don't really like the idea of using those. But as far as I know, there is not a Stevie version of the potato harvester. As far as I know, he hasn't actually done a potato harvester. Potato technology in here. Yeah, he hasn't done... oh, wait. Veritron 470. We've got the Tiger. See, we got these. And he's done these for potatoes. But they're not the actual potato harvesters. They're different. They're the sugar beet harvesters. And this is a bit that kind of disappoints me. I wanted to use one of those. But what's this one? It says 45k there. That's 25k. It's got 60,000 litres in it. What's the field speed of this one? Okay, I don't know where this one's come from, but he's got a faster field speed. He's got a 10,000 litre capacity on it. 10,000 is not great. I'm wondering, has he got a big... Oh, capacity there, standard. 60,000. Right. So we got an option for going up to 60,000 there. Engine setup here, we've got a 700 horsepower... Okay, we've got several different engine setups there to make it a lot more powerful. I like this one. I like this. This could end up being our potato harvester then, because the Stevie ones are great. I just don't like the idea of using a sugar beet harvester to do the potatoes. That's the only reason. Right, you can stay there. I'm going to turn off the allow create fields. I'm just going to shut you off, and I'm going to go up here. You are now finished. We have planted all of our corn in our 2 fields that we own at the moment. That is now done and dusted and ready. So I'm going to start fast forwarding time at 120 times speed until we get one growth stage. We want one single growth stage now, and then we can get the fertilizer and we can get that spread across both of these fields. And then once we've done that, we just need to keep fast forwarding until such time as we get to our corn harvest. And we got 2 combines. There's 2 of the bad boys now. They can start working in the fields and they can start doing their thing. We've not got any money coming in for a little while. And I've talked about the renewables bit and whether or not we do anything with those. So I'm not yet. Those episodes haven't gone live yet, so I haven't yet had any feedback from those. So I'm going to leave them until I do hear back about them. Repair that one. Yes. Repair that one. Yes. Come out of there and jump into you, and we'll go and stick this lot in the shed. So we're not going to be using this particular seed drill for quite a while now. We're done with that one. This one can go into the shed in here. I'll put that one right in the back like that, and let's lower down that one there. Dump that one off, and then we'll back out and spin round, and we'll put this back bit in as well. Round we go. There, and get that back into the shed in here, and then I have got all ready and raring to go when we get all the way round to planting sunflowers. We've got our next machine. Our seed drill is all ready there for us. Now, we've got the 2 small seed drills over there. Sure what we're going to do with... I think we'll end up using those for now because of the money that we've got. Whether or not we get like a load of money for corn for our harvest, I don't really know. We may end up getting lucky with the corn for harvest time. I don't really know at the moment. I'll get you on there. So I got 2 tons of fertilizer in this one, so I'm going to let the hired help use up the fertilizer that I've got in this one to start off with. Right, let's slow you down to 1 times speed. And then I'm going to bring you over this way. I'm going to go in this side from here. I'm going to do one little bit along that side there. Just like this. And then I'm going to press H and you're going to go racing up across the field up there. Let's bring you back round there like that. Back over to here. I'm not going to worry about doing down the other side. I'm just going to set him going right here. There. H. It should be... That's fine. There. Right. That's close enough to the edge. He's going to go and work up through there. And if we take a look in this side, we go to soil composition here. Remove the lime bit. Remove that. Yes. That's all we need. We just need that little bit on there. Now, if you look in there... We've got fertilizer just along the edge of where we've planted there. I don't know why I've got a bit of fertilizer in a strip there from where I've been doing my ploughing. But there is a little tiny bit there. Whether we'll get a bit more... I'll start you up again. Where the grass has been cut. That is, I think, where we're going to end up with a little tiny bit more fertilizer on this little patch that we're digging out. So we'll find out in a second. Let's carry on doing a little bit of this while that fertilizer is being spread. Then we can move the fertilizer up to the next field and we can do something with that up there. In the meantime, I'm going to take this one over here. Now, I don't... Oh, I was going to say, I don't think I've got GPS. I definitely don't have GPS. It's not there. You've got in the right-hand side, just above the speedometer there, you do have a little set of circle symbols and that on the side. If the GPS is enabled on the tractor, you'll have the little collection of things up through there. I can't go and get the GPS on this tractor, because that costs 15 grand and we don't have any money. So that's not really an option at the moment. I'm going to do, I think, a couple passes along the top of the field right here, and then we will start working from that side and we'll just work our way across the field. But I need a little bit more here just to allow us enough space to get to the end of the field so that we can turn round, because I just drove into the wall just now. It's not really the best way to go about doing things. Oh, our hired help has come to the end of the field and is just turning around. He's gone all the way up and come back again. And he's just going to turn around and he's going to go again. So I'm going to flip this one over. Here he is. See, he's doing a great job. I think that's going to be it, actually. He's going to go up through the line that he's on at the moment, and then he's going to turn around and come back again, and that will be it for this field down here. And then we can move it up to the top field and get him to go and do that one, and as soon as that's all finished up there, that's it. Then we can fast forward until... I was going to say tomorrow, but I'm sort of thinking that may not happen. We may not end up being able to do our combining tomorrow, because it's getting fairly late in the day now. And so it's likely to be late-ish tomorrow afternoon, evening, before the crop is ripe. So I'm thinking what we'll actually end up doing is that we'll fast forward the whole day tomorrow, and then the crop will be ready for harvesting the following day with our brand shiny new combine. And I know that we've only leased the corn header that's in there, but we've got the extra corn header in there as well. That's ready and raring to go. It's just whether or not we're going to make any money out of it. This is the big question. Corn is the least profitable of them all. I mean, saying that, there is, what we had 1,400 was the highest that we've seen yet on corn. I did see, we have had $1,400 per 1,000 litres for corn, so there is the possibility of making some money at least. How much have we got at the moment? Right, he's just on his way back down there now. He's just about done. So corn right now is 1,300 at the central grain elevator and dropping. And it's 1,300 over there at the restaurant as well. So, again, that's not too bad. Like, if we can get that kind of money, I think we'd be doing very well. Why have you stopped there? Seriously. I don't understand why you've stopped there. Of all the places to go and stop. Of all the places, in all the fields, in all the land, she had to stop in the middle of mine. Right. Let's go on over this way. We'll run up to the top field now, and I'm going to leave the hired help consuming the fertilizer that's in this spreader for now, because I'd like to just lower the weight of the fertilizer that's in there before I start buying it again. Plus, it's also a little bit cheaper. We're minus $400 at the moment, which is not cheap. Not cheap. It's not great being minus 400. You know, we could do with a little bit of money spare in our account so that we can pay necessary bills. At the moment, we can't pay for anything. Which is why I did go and get that corn header back when I did, because I suspected that my fiscal responsibility would ultimately result in the negative bank balance you see before you, and the bank manager just kind of crying quietly when I ask him for money. Bank managers don't normally... See, a bank manager is only ever going to give you money unless you can prove to him... The only way you get money out of a bank manager is if you can prove categorically that you don't need the money. When I go and ask a bank manager for money, they usually just sort of assume the fetal position in the corner of the office and cry quietly. That's the kind of reaction that I get. And I feel it's a little unfair. I mean, I can do fiscal responsibility. I'm responsible with money. I spend it very responsibly. I might spend it quickly. I might spend it efficiently, but it's all for, you know, for worthy causes and things like that. I would never dream of wasting the money. That would it just wouldn't happen. It absolutely wouldn't happen. I would not dream of wasting any money. I spend it wisely and sensibly at all times. Right. You carry on and do that, and we're going to go back down here, and we are going to do a little tiny bit more ploughing here. I reckon that we could have this field ploughed before... Well, I'm hoping that we'll definitely have it ploughed before planting has finished on the next crop. That will be easy. right? Because while planting and cultivating is going on, we'll be busy working here hard in the field, trying to make sure we get this planted as well. It's more land that we've ploughed up. So with the extra land that we've ploughed up, we'll have more stuff available, won't we? Like, there's going to be more grain coming in, more straw coming in, more of everything coming in. It's going to be fabulous. It's going to be wonderful. It is going to make us an absolute fortune. We are all going to be rich. That's how it is all going. That's how it's going to work out here. We are all going to be stinking rich because of this little tiny corner that I'm ploughing up over here. Mainly because if I wasn't ploughing this up, we would just be looking at the tractor up the top, and we'd possibly be a little bit bored. Yes. It's amazing the things that boredom will drive you to do sometimes. Let me just have a look on the map. Yes, it's where we did our sort of digging around. That's where not the digging around. It's where we went over with the stump grinder. That is land that is now fertilized. That's classed as fully fertilized on just on those bits though, not on any other bits. Let's drop you into there like that. I've got those seed drills there. I'm looking at them, and I'm thinking it'd be really nice if we could upgrade those. If we could just get something a little bit faster, a little bit quicker, a little bit more efficient. And ideally, what I would like is, I mean, I've got a 150 horsepower tractor right here. And I want to have a look in here, and seeders. Now, these aren't really much better, to be honest. I got one that it's a direct drill. As a direct drill as well. And that one also takes fertilizer, which should be pretty good. This one here is pretty cool. I kind of like this one. Right? It's 3.6 meters. Does all the drilling. It adds fertilizer as well. And it's a direct drill. I like that one. That one is my sort of preference out of all of these. That Stara one right there. And, of course, there is the Valtra Rapid A600S. An absolute classic, a beast of a machine. It does require 180 horsepower, which is possibly a little bit more than we've got right now to be able to do it with. This one here is great, except that the power harrow bit at the front removes seeds. So if you do a line across the end of the field and then you have that power harrow bit go in, it removes the seed that has been put there and you end up with gaps in your seeding. And I don't like that bit about it. That is slightly tedious and annoying about it. Then we've got some Stevie ones over here. We've got some other Horsch ones. So yeah, whilst that one is a possibility, the fact that it's got this power harrow bit, or at least I have with other power harrow mods, I don't like that bit. And plus that one's only 3 meters wide. And I wanted it, at least with the Stara over here, it is an upgrade. That's it's only 3.6 meters. This one here is 3. But it is an upgrade. If we're going to get 2 of those running, 108 horsepower, so it doesn't require massive tractors to pull them. If we're going to have 2 of those running, then we are looking at just under $80,000 to be able to do it, which isn't cheap. I'm just gonna leave that tractor right there for a minute. That's really not cheap. So it is an expensive option. I am aware that is quite an expensive option that we would have there, and it may not necessarily be the best option right now. It depends how much money we get with the corn. If I can do that, I can sell the other 2 seed drills. We can't sell the cultivators because we still need those for the planting for sunflowers and stuff like that. We got to plow the land up, cultivate up the fields when we come to do that anyway. So we haven't really got an option as far as those bits are concerned. So we've still got to keep the cultivators, but slightly upgrading so that we don't have to cultivate everything first for the majority of our crops, and we can just use those Stara direct drills. It is going to speed the whole process up. And the great thing about those Stara drills is that they also take fertilizer, which is you know, that is slightly better than the Valtra one. I mean, the Valtra is 6 meters. I mean, yeah, we can't actually take that one at the moment. We've only got one tractor that would do it, so it's, well, we are doing other things with just one tractor. But I don't want that to be a continued habit. I don't want that to sort of be the way that we do that. I'm going to turn off the allow create fields on that, just because it's going to make it a bit easier. And we're going to run round over here. I think we've got to wait until 7, haven't we? It usually makes us wait till 7 o'clock before we're allowed to get any sleep. Then we can get some shut-eye. Let's go and have a look at the guest house. I'm looking at the guest house here, and I'm thinking that this is looking a little bit overrun. It's not a guest house, it's a coach house. See? The coaches go in there. The old coaches. And then you've got a tall one for a tall coach. Coach house there. Yeah, I thought it was like a guest house. I mean, I suppose it could have been converted to a guest house, but this is a coach house. And given that we've got it completely overgrown here with weeds at the front, it makes me think that it's not been converted into a guest house, and it is still a coach house. Just never actually used. Right. Get some shut-eye. We will go for a full 14 hours of sleep. Let's see how our crops do. We've just had a growth stage there at 4 o'clock in the morning. And we cycle on through until 9. Are we going to get any more at the moment? So there's no... Right, there is another growth stage right there, which is the final one before ready to harvest. So we're going to be ready to harvest around mid-afternoon. That's what I reckon. We're going to end up being ready to harvest now mid-afternoon, which, yeah, it's, well, so long as it's early enough in the mid-afternoon, we can still do our harvest, and we can still do the lot. Otherwise, we'll wait until the morning, and we might just wait until the morning anyway. If it's at lunchtime that it changes over, if it's before, I will check it again at 2 o'clock. It's 11 o'clock now, well then I don't need to say 2 o'clock. We're going to turn round in a second, so we'll be able to keep an eye on that field as we travel back up through in the other direction. There we go. See? 11:30, no change. 11:30, 11 o'clock, and all's well. Let's drop you in there, and let's just line you up so that you're roughly in the right way. And we carry on up through 12 o'clock. All's well, no change. Nothing at all yet. It's very exciting stuff, sitting in a field and waiting for your crops to grow. It's a very, very exciting time, just sitting there watching your crops grow like that. I don't know if anybody's ever gone and done that. It's an incredibly exciting job. It's not a job that farmers usually have to do. There's usually plenty of other things for them to get on with. Although, once you've done all your planting and you've done all of your... if you've got a mixed farm, your lambing and stuff is all done as well. Like all of that is generally out of the way, and you've got your crops are planted. You've done most of the spraying that you're going to do, and there's typically a lull in the farming calendar for things to do, and that is why traditionally, certainly in the UK, agricultural fairs and things like that were all held around the beginning of June, sort of middle of June. They were all held around that time because that's the quiet time in the farming calendar. All right, your lambing and your lambing, calving, all of that, that's done with you in the spring, and then your crops are in. You've done most of the weeding. The crops are sufficiently progressed now that extra weeding isn't needed because the crops are sort of progressed enough, and yeah. Okay, it's 3 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock. Crop is ready. But traditionally, I know that modern farming practices mean that the calendar has sort of changed quite a lot with a number of different things. Not with everything, but with some things that it's all changed round. However, traditionally, and the way that things were done traditionally, that is why you had all of your things happening, all of your agricultural fairs happening in the beginning of June, because that was the quiet time in the farming calendar. So for those of you who don't know much about farming, that is why. That is, there is your agricultural education for today. I'm just going to unfold this one here, and I'm going to jump into their AI vehicle extension. I'm going to double check that I've got my settings how I like them. I do. That one I want to be going around in circles like that. I'm going to bring you over here, and we're going to start up. I'm going to go and get the other combine before I start this one up, and we're going to have both of them do a circuit around the outside edge of the field. So I'm going to bring you over to here. I'm going to get this one. I'm going to take you over to the field and get you set up as well. This one here has got the AI on, but I need to just change this to 100. And off we trot up through here. I've got that one all set up and ready and raring to go as well. So I'm going to bring you right up beside this combine here. Now, I think if I go in here, there is a setting here. Wait during unload, I want that off. I forgot that. Collision check. Now, I'm not sure about that one. I think that means that they will stay back. Collision check on. Turn that off. Yep, I'm going to keep the collision check bit on at the moment, and we'll see what happens there. Oops, I didn't want to press escape on that. Wait during unload off. Keep that one on, and then press OK. Right. There, and then go to this combine, and I'll make sure that this one is also... Wait during unload is off. The collision check on. Right. Hopefully, everything is tickety-boo and wonderful. So I'll bring you over to the edge of the field like that and start you up there. And then I'll go to this one. And I'll bring... Helper E is blocked by an object. No, you're not. What are you possibly blocked? Going on? What? Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I got a bad feeling. I got a very bad feeling about this. Corn header, right here. That one. It doesn't say the horsepower that is needed to power that one. And I'm thinking that it needs a significant horsepower to power it, which is why this is the one recommended for the Nova 330, because the Nova 330 doesn't have the physical horsepower to run this header. Look, I drive it along like that. I have it running. This combine isn't moving. It's simply not moving with that one on. I didn't even think that this would... I didn't think this was even an issue. But it's simply not going anywhere. Let me try the other combine. I bet it's going to be the same. Start you up. It's exactly the same. Oh, wow! I genuinely didn't think that was even going to be a thing. Alright, I really didn't think that was even a thing. I didn't think that was possible. So what we're going to need to do then is we're going to need to go in... Well, we're on here, so I'm going to go there, and I want to reset you to shop. And I want to reset that one to the shop as well. We're going to have to go with the small headers. Yes. And we need to reset. I think we've relived enough glory days just for a moment. We're going to take a breather. We're going to have a little bite to eat. And then we can get back to it, nice and refreshed, and relive a few more glory days. There should be some names coming up right now that you can have a look at. It's names of people who are in the Great Book of Names, people who have supported this channel, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. So if you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.